Hi, Madonna, Louise, Veronica Ciccone here.
When will you understand that I am a person and not a thing?
Look it up.
Do something else. Do my eyebrows.
Better to say, am I being true to myself? And is this what I want to say? And have I expressed myself the way I want to express myself? I mean, that's what it's all about.
You're listening to MLVC, the Madonna podcast, your place for all things Madonna, Louise, Veronica Ciccone. Hey everybody, it's Stefan.
Hey guys, it's Tony.
Today on the show, we've got Donald Ely, art director, graphic designer, illustrator, and of course, Madonna fan.
But he's also a friend of the podcast. Hi, Donald.
Hey, nice to meet you.
If you're a fan of the podcast, you'll know that Donald gave us a very heartfelt contribution in our season 2 finale, the erotica episode.
Mm-hmm.
I think, Donald, you first came onto our radar because somebody had reposted a picture of you and your son attending Madame X, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think that was roughly the time I came on the radar. Yeah.
Am I correct in knowing that that was your son's very first concert ever?
That was my son's very first concert. And I thought that it was a really great concert to take him to for his first concert because leading up to Madame X coming out, I used to drive him to school every day. And in the car, you know how she was doing the slow drip for each song? I just started playing each song repeatedly over and over again. And he got really into it. I mean, he was already kind of like casual listener, but he got really into it to the point where like he would hop in the car and be like, Madame X or MX. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. I'm not going to complain about that.
How old was your son at the time?
2 years ago, 10. He was 10.
So was that because you were drilling it into his brain that he should like Madonna, or was it just because he actually liked Madonna?
I never like drill anything into his head. I kind of will strategically play things like and hope that he like latches onto it, but I never really try to like drill it in.
I think if the taste is there, it's there. I mean, I was 10 when I heard Borderline in the car, and I instantly knew that this was something I would probably want to hear 30,000 times by the end of the day, you know?
Yeah, for me, I was 5.
Yeah.
So I was 5 and I was visiting with my aunt all the time in her apartment, and she loved just to dance. And so she always, I would see her on the weekends, and the weekends was like her time to clean her apartment. So she would throw on Madonna and clean her apartment, and I would just sit there and watch her clean and listen to music. So
before we get into our little topic that we've come up with today, I think it's a little time for This Week in Ciccone. Donald, would you do me the favor of saying in the best radio announcer voice that you've got, This Week in Ciccone?
This Week in Ciccone.
See, I get what I want.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. So it's been a rather calm week being a Madonna fan, but one update we do have is the sound mix for Madame X is underway, and she's been in the studio with good old Mike Dean, who worked on the Madame X album, and she's brought him back to help the mix for the film. But the sound mixing is not the only thing going on in the studio with Mike Dean.
No,
there seems to be a lot of extracurricular activities going on, if you know what I mean.
No, they just went to the dispensary before they went to the studio. That's all, you know.
And you'll notice, I think, Stefan, earlier this week, you pointed out, like, she's not actually partaking in any of this. So I don't know. I don't think that she is.
You know, there's a conspiracy theory that, you know, Madonna is not smoking weed.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard. Somebody had said that Lourdes...
She's being a cool mom.
Lourdes went on record calling out her mom's bluff, saying she's not smoking weed. She's never smoked weed. She barely even drinks. Right. And I thought it was interesting she's just, you know, she's catfishing us. Madonna.
She's playing Instagram like everybody else does.
Yeah.
I mean, it's highly curated.
Yeah.
And she wants us to think she's that cool mom. So now 10-year-old me would have been like dying, like seeing her being anywhere near weed or like alcohol. Cause at the time, like I just wanted her to be pure.
Well,
like,
yeah, no.
The best, like aside from sex and like, you know, fawning around naked, but I I was like highly against drugs. I mean, I still haven't touched a drug in my life. I do drink, but if I would have seen her doing that at the time, I would have been devastated.
Look,
That's just the kind of kid I was.
we're all used to a straight edge Madonna. I was thinking about the reinvention auditions that were captured for I'm Going to Tell You a Secret. And, she asked the dancers that she hired, she's like,
could you do it less?
Yeah, could you do it less? So, I always think about that. And she's mentioned that even before, saying if I were drinking and doing drugs, would I be able to do a tour like this? Would I be able to work out like this? And I agree. You probably wouldn't.
And it drives me crazy when you see, tabloids saying, even during like the Madame X tour and stuff, saying she was like drunk on stage and stuff. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way she was drunk on stage.
She couldn't do.
She's just a little crazy now.
She's gonna do what? She's gonna do a handstand in the middle of the Human Nature number while she's wasted. I'm like, that's a talented drunk then, if that's what's happening.
Yeah.
But, like people like my grandmother believe that kind of stuff. And they're like, did you see Madonna was drunk on stage? I'm like,
I think it's totally Mike Dean. But you know what? Hey, if he works more creatively, effectively with, a little bit of marijuana, then good for him.
So, wait. So did Mike Dean do the mixing on the other live albums? I don't remember.
He worked on...
bad fan.
He worked on Rebel Heart. He comes to Madonna through Kanye West. So he worked on Rebel Heart, and then she brought him on to Madame X. And I don't think he worked. No, he did not work on the last tour album, but he did work on this one. So
yeah, hopefully it's good.
Hopefully it's good. I really don't want a lot of audience noise because we know that the audience was not like.
No, it can't.
Hype.
I mean, it would be fabricated because the audience was not as like a stadium tour in any way, but.
Right. And I don't know. I just really want it to be good. I just keep my fingers crossed. Because I loved Madame X. I thought for her in some ways I was like, I know people say this all the time with every album, depending on the type of fan you are, but I thought for her it was like a return to form in a way. Yeah. And just down to everything. The promotion was great for it. I love that teaser video that she first put out. It was like, oh, God, this feels good.
The only other thing that she's done recently in the news was posting that super fierce photo shoot that she did wearing the Jean-Paul Gaultier t-shirt and leather overalls and her little glasses. Yeah. And I think, Donald, you and I messaged and said
you saw it like seconds before I did.
Yeah, you said something like you didn't like the fact that she had straight hair, but she's working it in that in that outfit.
Well, actually, what I said was that in general, throughout her career, I haven't been a fan of straight hair. I know people like gush over the like Pop magazine cover that she did and like the straight hair during the Guy Ritchie era. Like I didn't like that. There's something about that doesn't feel. I mean, I know it's Madonna, but it's not my Madonna. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But I do feel like it looks great recently, and I love her in glasses. Like,
yeah, she looks
sexy.
really, really good, and I was surprised that. I mean, I remember when Tony, what was that interview that she did back at the like Virgin tour era, where she had those horn-rimmed glasses and
but she wore those a lot back then. If you like, especially there's like a lot of photos of her at the Palladium, hanging out with Andy Warhol and all those people. She wore glasses to go out when she wasn't being photographed, or she didn't think she was going to be photographed. And I suspect that she probably does in her regular life as well.
I used to have a book. It was like one of those unofficial biographies when I was a kid, and it had a photo of her with glasses, and the caption I remember reading said she just wore them for show. I don't know if there's truth to that, but yeah. I specifically remember that part of that biography that I had.
I mean, if the weed is fake, the glasses are fake.
The cigarettes are fake.
The grill is fake.
Right.
But she's a canvas.
Yeah.
She wants to add things on.
She's playing a character.
Yes, exactly. Well, and speaking of character, I mean, Donald, I can see that you're wearing a Madonna Truth or Dare T-shirt.
I am.
Which is it? The one that says, does it say anything at the bottom underneath her sleeping?
No, it says it on the back.
Oh, the ultimate dare is to tell the truth. Indeed, it is.
Yeah. It's like the cheapest T-shirt. Back fabric wise, like I try to like wear it as little as possible so it doesn't
Disintegrate.
turn into.
So, yeah.
But there's like a fine balance because if you like wait too long, then it dry rots, and so like you have to keep it like in rotation.
But correct me if I'm
Right,
wrong. So that shirt was like promotional material for the VHS release, right?
Yeah. So I think there used to be some type of bundle. We used to go to my like it was like an independent rental store, but they had a massive Truth or Dare poster, like the one you have behind you, but it was bigger,
Yes.
Mhm.
and it was on their wall for like over a year, and that was back when they still had like Madonna had promotional stuff in stores.
Yeah.
Every weekend we would go there. My brother and I would rent video games. My parents would get movies, and I was like, "Can I put my name on that poster so when it comes down, you can call me?" And I specifically remember with that particular poster, we were checking for a year. Seriously, I remember one day I was taking a shower, went into my bedroom, and suddenly it was on my wall. And my dad had run to, I guess they had called the house, and my dad had gone to the rental store, picked it up, waited for me to like not be in my room for an extended period of time, and hung it up for me. And it was like the
that's so
best
nice.
surprise.
Nice. Wait, so how did you get
Yeah.
the T-shirt?
My wife and I, when we were going to Reinvention Tour, which is actually her first Madonna concert.
Good show to see.
Yeah, we saw her in DC. At the time, I was obsessed, and it was like tied with like my all-time favorite Madonna concerts. Now, not so much, but in preparation for the show, I was like, I want to like find a T-shirt that I don't normally wear, and I just kept thinking back to that Truth or Dare T-shirt that I never got with like the VHS bundle, and
I'm gonna look into that. I wonder if there's any of those rolling around still. There must be.
yeah, this I got. It was like still in the plastic.
Okay.
I mean,
I remember too, the VHS of Truth or Dare had 2 additional numbers at the end. It had Like a
Yes.
Prayer and Hanky Panky, which were not
Mhm.
in the movie or the DVD. So I'm like, please.
and I'm so okay. Actually, we're on this topic.
Yeah.
And talking about like my aspirations as a designer. I've always obviously wanted to do something for Madonna. I don't think it'll ever happen. But if anybody
Never
has
say
contacts
never.
out there,
Dare to dream,
Hit me up.
Donald. Dare to
Yeah.
dream.
Create
Hey,
your
I
own work.
never thought I'd dance with her, and look what happened.
I want there to be a Criterion Collection release of Truth or Dare. I think it warrants that type of a release. I think it's always had a cheap DVD, Blu-ray release.
Oh, yeah.
Even the most recent version, like changed the typography and stuff on it, and just felt really cheap.
What's the difference of a Criterion Collection? What comes along with that?
Oh my god!
It comes with a
Perfect
restoration,
restoration,
4K remastering.
So they redo the film itself,
yeah.
but is there like packaging stuff that comes along with it? I'm assuming so.
Yeah, they
right?
do the commentaries. They add new commentaries with the
I've got
filmmaker.
tons of them back there.
Yeah, me too. I've got a thing full of them.
But usually a really nice thick booklet printed on high quality paper with interviews or reproductions of interviews, depending on pertaining to that film. Sometimes it's like a dissection of the film, which I think Truth or Dare warrants, kind of being a predecessor to these types of concert films. And yeah, I mean, there was just so much promo around. It would be nice to have that on like a bonus disc, have the breakfast with Madonna. What was it? Dinner with Madonna. Have the Carrie Fisher interview in print for the booklet. And actually, I think it could be a triple disc. It could be one disc of just promo, one disc with the film, and then the third disc, obviously, with the Blonde Ambition. And I think like people would buy the shit out of that, and they could charge, a lot for it. But yeah, I've already started working on like what I would want a Criterion release to look like, and hopefully one day I'll share it. But we when Truth or Dare first came out on VHS, I used to watch it every single day during the summer. Like it was like 2 summers in a row. We had a babysitter. His name was Carl, and every morning he would come. I would already be like halfway into it. And like the rule was always, all right, we can go outside and play or do board games or something, but after Truth or Dare is finished. So he watched it as much as I did.
Well, Donald,
and he was not a fan.
I'm so glad that you had such a positive experience, because when Truth or Dare was released on video, I went to my local video store because I was going to go rent it and take it home and make my own copy of it so I could watch it every day. So I get there, and the queen at the counter, who's been eyeballing me for months, decides to card me.
Oh, no.
He just looks me right in the eye. He's like, I need to see your ID. You're not 18. And I was like, are you kidding me? I just rented Salo last week. You know, like what is wrong with you? You know? And for like 2 weeks, he was the same thing. And of course, you know, my mother was not going to set foot in a video store ever. So,
really? Okay.
Yeah, I had to like borrow it from a friend, make a copy. And I went in there one day and I told the guy, I was like, and he's like, do you still want to rent Truth or Dare? And I was like, no, I've seen her in concert. I have all her stuff. I don't care about that movie. I just like rolled my eyes at him. Never set foot in that store again.
Liar.
I think they closed after that too, you know. So.
That's funny. Your mom wouldn't set
Oh,
foot in a video rental store, and my mom was like renting, going in the back room, getting porn while we were renting video games.
Lucky, no. There was no entertainment in our house, and I had to bring it in. You know.
Oh no.
He stuffed it. Tony would hide it in a sleeve of a Bible.
I sure did.
Know.
I got I'm Breathless at Sam's Club.
Oh, so you probably got in a long box.
I sure did. Yeah.
Oh, remember long boxes? Well, so speaking of long boxes, for those of you young listeners out there who might not have grown up and seen CDs when packaging first came in, they used to put CDs in these things called long boxes
To deter shoplifters.
Exactly, because it was much more difficult to shove this huge long box in your jacket or sleeve than it was a CD.
There was another reason too, though, and that was because that people were shifting from vinyl to cassettes and CDs, and because of that, a lot of places didn't update their storage right away, and the storage was for a 12-inch, and you know, cassettes are super tiny or CDs are super tiny, so there was like that weird transition period where they wanted them to still be able to fit inside of, you know, a record.
The bin, yeah. But I also think I remember, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of graphic designers loved the long boxes because there was more
art,
like real estate to actually design.
I'm shooting myself because I remember seeing erotica in the long box form.
I remember that.
And I was like, oh, I don't want that. I just want the like regular. But now, like, you know, as an adult, I just wish I still had that because it was a beautiful package.
I think that was the last Madonna CD that was released in a long box. I remember buying the Like a Prayer single. It was one of those 5-inch discs, and it came in a long box. I mean, it was like, I think it cost like $4 for that. It was Like a Prayer and Act of Contrition, you know, 5 inches. But I mean, I was basically paying for all the cardboard. And I don't know where that disc is, because you had to use like an adapter to play the 5 inches. It was like a mess. No wonder it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Well, so Donald, since we have you on the show, you're an art. You're going to represent all graphic designers and art directors en masse for today. We sort of wanted to do a little deep dive into, like, you know, because obviously everyone listens to Madonna music, but one of the wonderful things about all of her albums in the past was being able to go through the books, the little album booklets, or you'd open the cassettes and you'd be able to like go through the liner notes and whatnot. What do you think was like some of her most successful graphic design moments on either albums or, I don't know, calendars or whatever? I mean, T-shirts.
Fonts.
I think for me, it was the golden era was from Like a Prayer to Bedtime Stories. Just about everything that came out, just about all of those releases were just like hit after hit after hit for me, design wise. And I think that really influenced me as a designer before I knew I was going to be a designer. And like,
why do you think that about those albums?
So, well, great. First of all, great photography. Today, not so much.
Agreed.
Yeah. And it sucks.
You mean
because,
like
again,
like album, like the
I'm
photo,
talking about album, singles,
the photo she's using. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you, Hard Candy.
Hold on now. But I actually do like Hard Candy, and I'll get back to that. But yeah, for me, it's a combination of great typography, great photography, and great placement of both.
Mhm.
And the color palette specifically for each release, just like like if I could, I just want to eat it. I want to bite into it. It just tastes so good. I think ultimately it affected like my experience and my relationship with her. The first thing that I got was my first like piece of Madonna anything was the Like a Prayer cassette single,
Mhm.
which is obviously the Herbert's photo from the back cover of Like a Prayer.
Yeah.
And it's arguably like one of her best photos ever. But there's just something, and I like that they have that's nice sort of like organic edge around the side that you would get, if you were processing like a photo in a dark room. I like that it wasn't white; it was cream. There was just something. There's something so rich about that. It just felt special to me. All of that Like a Prayer stuff, down to the actual album cover, and thinking about that time in her career where so many people said this is everything she does is about her. It's about her. It's about her. And finally, she put out something, and she took her face off of it, and it was just her hands, and it was just like that jewelry and that denim, and there's just something like great about it. She wanted people to focus on the music and not her image in that particular instance, and for that album cover. And I think that was a really smart move. I don't know if it was originally her idea or not, but I think in the end it really worked. And I also love, like the larger photo, and then the one of her in the purple top, like swooshing her hair to the side. That's really good too. And those colors too. Oh, so the next T-shirt I design is going to be Like a Prayer related.
Oh,
and I'm
cool.
going to pick up on some of those colors. Yeah.
The thing I loved about Madonna, and I don't know if it was like a subconscious thing or something that I was honing in on, I always noticed that for each album, they were starting to give her name a different font treatment,
Yes.
which I loved sort of like
Yes.
noticing that. And so like every time she was coming out with a new album, in my mind, I was like, how are they going to depict her name? How is the font going to like sort of showcase her name? And I felt like they did that up until a certain time, and then it wasn't as smartly done. And I don't know if it's they stopped paying her name so much mind. But like when you look at like I always loved from like her first and second album, I felt like it was the same font treatment for the first album and Like a Virgin a little bit. But then like obviously True Blue, Like a Prayer, I'm Breathless, I mean, Immaculate Collection, you got that huge little insignia.
Yeah.
And then, like Bedtime Story, I loved that it was this super skinny little font.
Yes.
And there was just so many different wonderful treatments that they would do to her name that I felt like once, maybe once the CD stopped becoming such a big thing, or I don't know why it fell off, but it felt like it just sort of stopped becoming the momentum that it was, the moment that it was.
I think Madonna, the album, and Like a Virgin, they were different typefaces. But another favorite of mine, obviously, is Erotica. And I remember seeing that sort of like handwritten, scribbly type. It like, to me at the time, like, let's see, 1992, I was 10. I was like, oh, this like feels like something I shouldn't have. But my parents have no idea what's inside. I mean, they must have had some idea because it's called Erotica. And I had to ask them what that meant at the time because I remember not knowing. And my mom's like, it means sex. I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, I just remember it was like so gritty and raw. And I mean, I wouldn't find out later because I didn't see the sex book until I turned 18. But I wouldn't find out later. It's, used all throughout there. And that was like such a treat for me. And so that's actually one of the things that ties a lot of my favorite covers of hers together is sort of like the handwritten element. So like with True Blue,
sure,
the title, and with what else? You Can Dance. You Can Dance is actually one of my all-time favorites. That's definitely not my favorite look of hers, but design-wise, I mean, it's just so juicy and like
and
gorgeous.
Tony, you in leading up to recording today, you had pinpointed that there was a specific person responsible for designing all of this.
Right,
Who
there was
that?
Jerry Hayden. So she was paired with Madonna with the first album. She worked for Warner Brothers, and then Seymour Stein took her to work for Sire Records. So she was tasked to work on all the albums up until I think.
Probably Erotica.
Yeah, up until Erotica, because actually not Erotica, because Fabian Baron did Erotica and
Up to Erotica is what I
Bedtime
meant.
Stories.
Right.
But yeah,
Yep.
so she's the one who started with the iconic images of her face and the different fonts, and she's the one who created the handwriting. That's her handwriting in True Blue,
Right.
and also You Can
beautiful
Dance.
handwriting.
Yeah, it is, and you're right to bring up You Can Dance, because You Can Dance has a very, very good layout, and it has amazing liner notes. If you haven't read them, find them, because they are written by Brian Chin, who was working for Rolling Stone at the time, and they're so good. And it takes Madonna seriously during a time when people were trying to put her down as, like, a pop has-been by the time by 1988 already.
Right. Yeah, and now we've come full circle.
Exactly.
But yeah, You Can Dance. Something about that red is just so gorgeous to look at. I mean, like,
it's like a Coke can.
Yeah, it's like the perfect red, and then like combined with like that image of her, and she, has a knack for like looking at the camera in a way that I feel like nobody else can. And yeah, it's just like she's there to seduce you. I mean, it feels like she's looking right at me. I used to have her posters all over my bedroom, and I felt like I couldn't go anywhere in my bedroom without her looking at me. So in some ways that was nice, but in other ways I'm like, can you turn your head?
Yeah. I want to give an honorable mention to the Justify My Love CD single, because it is
number one. Yeah, that's my number one.
Me too.
Of all of them.
Because that was her first departure. That was where, I mean, it was very sexual, but without even really saying a lot, because it was so stark and minimalist at the same time. And
sexy.
And sexy.
Just like
the font.
1,000% sexy.
And the font was like something Madonna had never worked with before. And it was just a whole new look. And it was like ushering in a new era, obviously.
And it was gold. It had that gold type, like that slight metallic sheen to it. And just a great use of white space. Yeah. And again, it wasn't like 100% white. It's like slightly creamy.
Right.
It's like got that warm feel to it.
And that's something that Jerry Hyden did that I always loved, the special touches where you would open up the CD single cover, and there would be like a photo inside, or there would be like some lyrics, or you would see like an outtake or something.
But that photo was a perfect photo for that single. And I'm glad they didn't. And as much as I love the video, it's one of my favorite videos. Like, I'm glad they didn't use one of those photos for the.
Oh no, they were saving that for Rescue Me.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But oh my God, just like her look, the pose, the attitude, the fake cigarette. I mean, the real cigarette, she probably wasn't really smoking. But the way her hair is just kind of like tucked up into that hat. So good.
So Donald, what do you think would be just top three? Give us top three album artwork, era artwork.
I think for me, my top three are like
Sum it up.
Erotica, Like a Prayer, Erotica, and probably Bedtime Stories.
Okay.
I think those are my three faves.
Yeah, I love Bedtime Stories. I thought that was so fresh.
Again, yeah. And I think it went, like, it really embodied the album, I thought. The soft, like, pink and baby blue and the thin type. I mean, it felt dreamy. It felt ethereal. The way the letter forms kind of like overlap each other as if they're like transitioning. And for her, like at the time, that was kind of a transition from like dirty and raw to like soft and like just a little, still dirty kind of, but
not raunchy.
Not raunchy. Unless you're on David Letterman.
I don't know why you guys are using all these adjectives to describe Madonna.
Yeah, but actually, and then something else that was really good was that Details photo shoot that she did.
Bettina Rhymes.
Bettina Rhymes, yeah,
with her
belly button pierced,
sexy underwear, and rolling around in that dirty pad.
Tony, didn't you have a story about that, right?
No, I just remember that. I just read recently that Bettina. I thought it was an actual hotel room that looked that way, but it
wasn't her apartment or something.
No, it was a room that they were using, but they had these panels that look like the walls that you see. Because the whole time, when I saw that, when it came out, it was also the Human Nature CD single cover. I was like, I love that wallpaper. Yes. I love that wallpaper, and it turns out that was created just for that background.
That's insane.
Yep.
That's insane. And I love Human Nature video, but I really love that image on the cover. It's so good. She's just like on the floor with her face rubbing up against the wall. It's like
grimy.
Yeah, it's just it's so good. I like grimy Madonna.
Good, a little smoky
dirty,
eye.
raunchy.
Yeah.
And I think also too that's why I really love Confessions Tour, because I love when she gets like sweaty and her hair gets like what she called it, like her skank hair. And I'm gonna tell you a secret. Oh my god! But like by the end of or during that last segment, when she's doing Hung Up, yeah. So I have a close group of friends, Madonna online friends I've never met in real life, but they all know that I just love to see her sweat. And she's like perfect and like so like perfectly sweaty at the end of Hung Up. Like when she's walking down, there's like two little dry patches like right here under. Yeah.
Well, my favorite sweaty Madonna is Vogue at the very last show of Blonde Ambition, where her hair is like, just like
it's like
a mop. Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
But I love your attention to detail, Donald. You just really pick up on stuff.
Back to her being sweaty one more time. So
we're gonna cut you off, okay?
Right? Yeah, I'm sorry. Blonde Ambition, as you may or may not know, was my first concert of hers. So, and another reason why I felt like it was important for it to be my son's. I don't know, just more important for me than him, probably.
Sure.
But my mom worked at the Capitol Center, which is where she performed, and so she always got like early access to tickets for shows that were coming through. And knowing obviously, or that I was obsessed, she was like, I'm gonna get these tickets for him for his birthday and he can go with his Aunt Wanda and I don't have to see her, but I'll still be, I think she's thinking in her head, I'll still be like the star of the day because like I'm the one that gave him to him. But it was really special for me to go with my aunt because I knew she really liked her, and it was like a concert, like in my head at the time it was like a foreign concept, like what is that like so whatever. So I was in school one day, it's towards the end of the school year, and I get a call to come down to the principal's office, and they said my great-grandmother was there to pick me up. And I was like, oh, awesome, I get to leave school early. So I hop in the car, and I sit in the back seat, and she kind of hands me a bunch of like newspaper articles that she had been cutting out about the tour that she had been reading. I was like getting into the articles, and she wasn't heading to my house. And I was like, where are we going? She's like, oh, we're going to your mom's work. She has something to show you. And I was like, okay, cool. So we get to my mom's work, and my mom's like, so I want to let you know, I got you tickets to see Madonna, and you're going to go, this weekend with your aunt. And I was like, holy shit. And, in my head, I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, what? And she was like, and they're here now. And so I can take you over there and you can see them rehearsing if you want. And I was like, yes, let's do it. And so, so we leave the office area and drive over to the venue. And we're like up in kind of like a high level, but we get in there, and for about 15 minutes, I saw them rehearsing Vogue just in plain clothes on the stage. It was the craziest thing. And I realize now that was like really special, but at the time I was just like, this is cool, but they're not in costume.
You
or
didn't
anything.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate it as much, but and I remember it being just as an empty arena, it was just really, really loud, and and you could just feel the bass going through your body, but you couldn't really even hear them. But I know now that I was seeing, the dancers and backup singers in Madonna.
Absolutely.
And it was really cool.
Now is as good a time as any to let's give Donald the lightning round.
Lightning round. Okay, so as a listener of the podcast, Donald, you know all too well the lightning round is just meant to be quick off the top of your head. Yeah. Wherever you're at in your Madonna journey right now, favorite Madonna song? Quick.
Okay, probably La Isla Bonita.
Favorite Madonna video?
Justify My Love.
Favorite Madonna tour?
It's a two-way tie. It's Blonde Ambition and Confessions. Well, and three-way tie with Madonna.
No.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry. You can't have it all, Donald.
You can't just name them all.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Favorite Madonna look, and it can be from a tour, photo shoot, video, album.
I think I've already kind of alluded to what my favorites are. Like Justify My Love is probably my all-time favorite.
From the CD single.
But I think just 1992 in general.
Yeah.
1992 Madonna. Early 90s Madonna is great regardless.
What was it? The Vanity Fair?
The Vanity Fair or the Vogue? They both came out in October 92.
I think it was Vanity Fair where she was dressed as like kind of like
Marilyn
little
Monroe.
girl.
Oh,
No, yeah.
yes.
Those are.
Is that Vanity Fair?
Those are. Yeah, that's Vanity Fair. Those are actual recreations of Playboy centerfolds from the
Playboy.
'60s. I've seen
Yes.
the originals, and they're uncanny.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They literally
But-
copied every item of clothing.
But
Well,
holy
what she's
shit,
wearing.
She looks so good in
Yeah,
those.
she looks
Mhm.
great.
Yeah. That and also, and I know Stefan, it's one of your favorites.
Here we go with the staircase.
Versace. No, not the staircase though.
Oh.
The Versace campaign, but I like the I liked her sitting with like her leg hanging out at the table with the dog.
Yeah, I love that
Yes.
one. Yeah.
Well, that whole
Yeah.
shoot, it's brilliant. It's
straight
amazing.
straight-ish hair, but
Yeah.
I loved it. She looks so good
There's
there.
a wave.
And that fishbowl, the fishbowl and the diving board. Yeah, I love that.
I like that too.
See, he pays attention to every detail. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, Donald, thanks for stopping by the show. It was a long time coming. We're glad that we got you on a little bit. See, it wasn't so tough. You were nervous about this.
No,
you were
I was.
just
Yeah,
chit chatting. We couldn't shut
can't
you up.
shut him up.
Yeah, once I get started, I'm fine. It's the anticipation.
It's like
leading up
Madonna
to-
on Letterman. She won't leave.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, thanks so much, Donald. It's great to meet you, and
Sure.
I loved hearing all these stories, and
Yeah.
also getting your perspective on the design world of.
Sure.
Yeah,
I mean, I
well-
could talk about that stuff like for all day.
We
so
look
maybe
forward
another
to
time.
seeing your upcoming Madonna t-shirt. Tell everyone where they can find you on social.
So on social, you can find me as Donald Ely 2 _ on Instagram. That's my personal.
Mhm.
Or if you want to follow my illustration, art direction, graphic design stuff, you can follow 3 Ring Studio, which is 3 spelled out _ring _studio.
Okay, cool.
And I got his Secret Garden t-shirt, very saucy t-shirt. Fits beautifully. It's wonderful, and it has a very dirty graphic on it. But
It does.
Well, I'm
I
eagerly
love it.
anticipating the Like a Prayer shirt because that's.
Tony loves a good Like a Prayer merch.
I know.
He
Remember, I
loves
had to
good
wait
Like a Prayer
6 months
merch.
for my Like a Prayer anniversary long sleeve T-shirt.
I still want the cassette single cover poster.
I want the poster
Oh,
and
Praying hands. The praying hands.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was called in the Boy Took My Mail catalog. Praying
Yeah.
hands poster.
Desperately seeking praying hands.
Everyone, thanks for stopping by today. Remember, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter at MLVC Podcast. We're streaming wherever you listen to podcasts, so share us with your friends and family, and so they don't miss out on all the goss that's happening. So anyway, we will chat with you next time. Thanks so much, Donald.
Cool.
All right.
Yes, you're welcome.
Bye, guys.
See you.